Kevin, point from a 2-2 draw at Westwood Road, St Ives today. Game of two halves, very much a first off. You fell 2-0 behind. It's not terrific defensively, I would imagine, would be your take on that, but there was some character shown in the second half to get back to 2-2.
Yeah, I think you've pretty much nailed it there. We do a background on St Ives and know there's a long throw in there, and they play with their big, strong physical side, and they load the boys up there. We've got to manage those moments and deal with those moments a whole lot better. And players have got to step up and take responsibility. They're not difficult moments in themselves. It's just about being brave and getting people organised in the right place. And we haven't done that well enough. That for me, that I look at them and I feel they're soft goals. And it's disappointing, but get them in at half time and give them a bit of a shake, and I got into one or two there, and let them know in no uncertain terms what I expect out of them and what they're capable of delivering, and fortunately we got a reaction, but it doesn't hide the fact that overall for the 90 minutes it wasn't at the level we needed, and as I say, probably a draw is a fair result at the end of the day. St Ives continued to force moments and situations and didn't lie down for one moment. But I just, you can tell I'm cheesed off that those goals are so avoidable. Sure.
St Ives, as you say, they've got those characteristics about them. I guess most people would look at this and feel that probably your side has the greater quality, but when that quality gap can get closed by the kind of desire that they showed, and they just looked that little bit that hungry in the first half, I thought.
They were, and like I say, for me to ruffle a few feathers in there at half time and upset one or two of them, clearly I got a reaction out of them, but it shouldn't take that. And probably the measure of any side is when that comes from within, where people can feel comfortable in the environment, that they can take a bit of a rollicking at times. It's important they can take it, understand it, and react to it, and not feel as though it's a personal situation. And look, the lads did respond, there's no doubt about it, and we've kept pushing and there's lots to like about the second half, but the bits that are missing in the first half is something that I need to try and address, and players need to understand what the expectations, the demands of one another, and where they need to be.
Matty Stenson had a difficult afternoon. I think I guess one of the great things obviously about your season is also a thing that marks him out for the opposition, and he was crowded out of play quite a lot, wasn't he? Didn't find him many opportunities.
No, we haven't created moments and chances for Matty today, but nonetheless he continued to work hard for us. He's in such fantastic form, as one or two that we have to accept, where he's tried to work moments and situations, and probably he feels that's his responsibility, which to a point it is. But it's about other players buying into that and giving him chances and opportunities like we have over previous weeks, and we can't expect Matty to keep finding their moments himself. And again, it's a collective responsibility. And it, as I say, it got a whole lot better in the second half, and we possibly could have scored one or two more. There's I think a strong shout for whether Reece's second effort is over the line. But yeah, like I say, the goals we give away are disappointing and really are avoidable. And you can't continue to play in that vein and continue to give yourself a mountain to climb if you're going to be successful.
Sure. Jimmy Armson was absent today. I think he had a little bit of a fitness test when he first arrived here, but I think he'd probably already flagged with you on Thursday at training that maybe he wasn't going to be able to play. Did that give you a bit of a headache?
Yeah, it did really. There's one or two that after training, Steno wasn't feeling 100%, but we know what a big player he is for us, and fortunately he's wanting to go out there, he's wanting to play, and he's wanting to put everything he can into us, trying to achieve the best possible position we can. So yeah, credit to him. He's continuing to lead the line in the fashion that he does. He's going to get you goals. Hasn't quite happened for him today, but we need him in the team and in the group. With the greatest respect, we don't have another player like him in the group. They're hard to find. And it's about us, probably wrapping him up in cotton wool and making sure we get him into next Saturday's game.
Sure. There was a big save early in the second half from Brandon Hall when you just got back into the game at 2-1 from Reece Hilton. And I did remark at the time that, doing commentary, that it potentially, if you got something out of that game, that was a big moment, big save.
Yeah, it was. But everybody, that's what your goalkeeper's there for. Their goalkeepers had to pull off one or two, and that's what it's about. And we need to protect Brandon. There'll be moments, not necessarily today, certainly through the course of the season, where we will have got Brandon out of jail. And that, it's kind of a two-way street. If he's required in moments, or we need to bail him out, whatever it may be. And that's every player in the group. They'll have good days and then different days and bad days. That's what happens. But it's overall the strength of the group coming together and getting through situations. That's what it's all about. It's not down to, like I say, necessarily one player. The goals that we concede aren't down to one player. I think they're a collective effort, and could be one player one week and another player the next week. And when you do make mistakes and you do give the opposition kind of cheap moments, it does make for a long afternoon. But we know there's quality in there, but there's not enough nastiness in there, and not enough ability to demand off one another. A lot of quiet boys, as I've said before, and that's my responsibility to make them maybe a little bit meaner and a little bit more demanding of one another.
Sure. Probably quite a lot to unpick. A couple of training sessions this week ahead of Bromsgrove next week, and another game on the road. And I suppose it's that situation in that, whilst this wasn't necessarily, I wouldn't go as far as must win, every point drop then places more pressure on the games that come.
Yeah, absolutely it does, and they are must-win games, Rich. We want to finish as high as we possibly can, and that's exactly it. I'm not sure players kind of understand it and realise quite the expectation that there is there. And whether players think they can just coast through games, there's certainly signs of that in the first half, and weren't up to the sharp and strong levels that we know we need. And when you don't produce that for 90 minutes, consequently you struggle in games. And I just, like I say, players have got to understand that and got to be able to deal with it, and got to be able to perform to the manner that we know we need to be successful. You can't just switch it on and off like a tap. We're not that good. Look, again, it's down to me to continue to hopefully make players understand and improve for the situation.
Kevin, we appreciate your time as always. Thank you.
Thank you.